The Deer Hunter is perhaps one of De Niro's best films, and today we are going to watch 20 weird facts about it. From moments like Walken spitting at De Niro to the cast performing all of their own stunts, these facts are sure to raise your eyebrows. Make sure to stick to the end for the weirdest bonus fact as well. Number 20. Spitting on De Niro.
I love you. You're my friend. What are you doing?
Michael Cimino, the director for The Deer Hunter, had convinced Christopher Walken, who was playing the role of Nicky, to spit in Robert De Niro's face for the scene where De Niro and Walken are talking before the final Russian roulette scene. De Niro was so taken aback by this action from Walken that he became livid and threatened the entire production to walk off the film if they pulled this kind of stunt without warning him. This is why the reaction you see from De Niro in the film is so authentic, because his reaction is genuine. Number 19. Slapping. The Russian roulette scene with the Viet Cong is perhaps one of the most intense in the entire movie, and it is made all the more intense with the resounding slaps the soldiers give both De Niro and Walken. But what the audience doesn't realize is that these slaps were 100% authentic. The agitated reactions you see from both Walken and De Niro were genuine reactions to the repeated slaps they were getting. Number 18. Casting. For the shoot in Thailand, there were many extras that were cast, but the requirement to be cast for the movie was the most bizarre. You had to be able to slap Robert De Niro in the face. Surprisingly, the lady put in charge of hiring the extras found this task remarkably difficult. This was till she found someone who had a particular dislike of Americans who was willing to get the job done. Number 17. John Cazale. John Cazale is a phenomenal actor, as every film he had appeared in his short but amazing career had been nominated for the Oscars, and The Deer Hunter was no different. But in reality, John Cazale was almost not taken for the movie, as he had terminal lung cancer and was deemed uninsurable by the studio. It's because Robert De Niro insured Cazale out of his own pocket that the studio decided to stick with Cazale. Number 16. Final days.
Hey! How do you feel now? Huh? Huh?
What's crazy is that most people didn't even realize that while shooting The Deer Hunter, there was a reason that Cazale's scenes were filmed first. Even with his terminal cancer, Cazale performed phenomenally on screen and gave us a performance that would be enjoyed for years to come. Sadly, Cazale passed away before he could see himself on the big screen. Moviegoers watched tearfully as one of their most beloved actors acted his heart out on screen along with his sweetheart, Meryl Streep. Number 15. There's rats in here. Most of the scenes in this film feature reactions from the cast that are unscripted and genuine 100%, and the scene where they cross the river is no different. We can see that in the scene where we see Steven, played by John Savage, cross the river. He shouts, "Michael, there's rats in here, Michael." In reality, John was actually shouting this to director Michael Cimino because the river that they were standing in was actually infested with rats. Apparently, when they were crossing the river, the rats rubbed against John's leg, causing him to panic and shout out to Michael. Number 14. Authenticity. If you needed one more reason to appreciate just how genuine the process for filming this entire movie was, I'll give you one. Do you know that the entire dialogue for the movie was shot on location?
Oh, Michael!
Hey, action! Hey, stop! Action! Hey!
You heard that right. Every single line of dialogue you heard was both shot and recorded at the same time. No sound stages, no recording booths, nada. It's probably why this film won the award for Best Sound at the Oscars. Number 13. Stunts. Both Robert De Niro and John Savage performed their own stunts, including the one where they almost fell nearly 30 feet off the bridge into the river. The two repeated the same stunt nearly 15 times in the span of 2 days, just so that the production would have all the film that they needed for editing. The scene was so authentic that the helicopters nearly crashed from getting entangled on the bridge. Number 12. Controversial.
Where is he?
Mike, I don't know.
Just answer me. Where is he?
I don't know where he is.
Just tell me where he is.
I don't know where he is, Mike.
The film came at a time when there was a strong political divide in America over the Vietnam War, with some advocating for it while others were against it. Robert De Niro, in particular, was so worried about how the film would be perceived that he refused to attend the Oscars in person and had even asked the Oscar committee if he could be seated in the back. Number 11. Emotional.
I don't want to go home. I know. Oh, good.
Robert De Niro has acted in some of the best movies in the history of film throughout his career and has given several performances. But De Niro admits that perhaps the most moving scenes of all time for him came from this movie. De Niro said in an interview that when Michael visits Steven in the hospital in The Deer Hunter, that scene is perhaps one of the most emotionally heavy ones he had ever acted in. He even broke down in tears when that scene was being discussed. Are you enjoying the video so far? Well, if you stuck around this long, make sure to stay till the end to hear the amazing bonus fact. Number 10. Dieting. Christopher Walken gives what is perhaps one of the most phenomenal performances in cinema history. But what is even more interesting is watching Walken go from a lively young man to a shell of his former self in the movie. Apparently, Walken achieved this skinny and malnourished look by switching to a diet of just rice, bananas, and water. Walken wanted to show the audience not just the mental deterioration that a person goes through in war, but also the physical toll it takes on the body. Talk about being dedicated to the role. Number 9. Foreshadowing. Cimino doesn't just direct mindless action, he creates masterpieces, and the wedding scene between Steven and Angela is proof of just that. Apparently, Cimino had specific instructions for the prop team for this scene, as he wanted Angela to inadvertently spill some wine onto her wedding dress during the wedding ceremony. This wasn't just added in for authenticity. Apparently, spilling wine during Orthodox Russian weddings is a bad omen, and Michael wanted to foreshadow the bad luck that was coming to the couple by mimicking this belief. Number 8. Preparation. De Niro is perhaps one of the most dedicated actors in filming history, as he is not just a master of his craft, but a student as well. He dedicates himself to immersing himself in the role he is about to play by living like his character to the best of his limits. And The Deer Hunter was no different. Apparently, De Niro, under the moniker of Bob, lived and socialized with steelworkers before the film began shooting to understand their slang, mannerisms, and speech patterns. Number 7. A real wedding. In what is perhaps one of the more wholesome moments of this entire movie, the wedding scene was directed in such a way that Cimino had instructed all the extras in the scene prior to shooting that they should wrap and bring boxes in gift paper so that they can use them as gifts for the bride and groom during the scene. But what's crazy is that some of these extras decided to go one step further and decided to buy actual gifts and gift wrap them. Cimino only noticed this when he carried a prop and realized it was heavier than usual, only to discover that there were real gifts inside. Number 6. Oscar baiting. Cimino and the team had realized that a film like theirs would fail at the box office due to its gritty and dark nature, as they had a disastrous test screening. But producer Alan Carr realized that a limited release could potentially get them an Oscar nomination, which would give them the necessary angle to market such an unusually dark film for the time, and they were right. When the film ended up winning several awards, the movie was finally released under the banner of it being an Oscar winner, which led to critical acclaim. Releasing movies near the end of the year to secure a position in the Oscars has become standard practice since this movie. Number 5. Self-help. Cimino is someone who usually obsesses over details and perfection, But when he trusts an actor to do their job properly, he usually gives them complete control over the character. Apparently, Cimino felt the same when it came to Meryl Streep. Meryl was cast to play the role of Linda, the love interest of Christopher Walken's character, who harbors feelings for De Niro's character instead.
So how are you, anyway?
I'm fine. Okay, how are you?
Me? I'm okay.
Apparently, Cimino gave Meryl full control over her lines and let her write her own, as her role was apparently quite limited in the screenplay. Number 4. Chuck Aspergren. Believe it or not, Axel, one of Michael's closest friends in the movie, was played by an actor that had never acted a day before in his life. Aspergren was apparently a foreman at one of the factories the production team visited early on. They were so impressed with the foreman and his charisma that they decided to cast him in the movie.
You're so full of shit, you're gonna float away.
Try me! Try me!
He ended up being the second person to be cast, right behind De Niro. Number 3. Greenery. The iconic deer hunting scenes that set the pace of the movie were shot in the Cascade Mountains of Washington State, while the mountain in the backdrop is Mount Shuksan. Furthermore, the volcano we see in the movie is Mount Baker, and the waterfalls where De Niro shouts are Nooksack Falls. Number 2. The Berlin Festival. Apparently, De Niro's fears of controversy were not unfounded, as what he had expected unfolded at the Berlin Film Festival. The Russian delegation ended up walking out of the screening of the film because of how Vietnam was portrayed, which led to several other nations walking out in protest and 2 of the jury members resigning. Number 1. 5 days. Apparently, the wedding scene in the film took over 5 days to shoot. Cimino undertook a meticulous amount of time and preparation to set up the wedding, and especially the scene where Angela spills wine on herself. Frustrated with the props failing, Cimino himself climbed on a ladder and poured wine onto Angela as a last-ditch effort to get the shot he wanted. Bonus fact: real Russian roulette. You read that right. De Niro and Walken were playing real Russian roulette with their lives in all the scenes. Apparently, De Niro had asked for a live cartridge to be loaded into the chamber of the gun, and Cimino agreed. The only reason the two didn't blow their brains out is because they repeatedly checked the chamber after each blank to ensure that the next trigger pull wouldn't be their final one. If you like this video, we think you will enjoy this one. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. Make sure to leave a comment as well telling us which fact was your favorite.